Well, hello and welcome along to another edition of the Andrew Eborn Show, where I am delighted to be joined by my old chum, the Radio Laureate, Mike Reed. How are you, Mike?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, brilliant. Can you see me okay?
I can see you brilliantly, and that's
marvellous.
Always a joy as well.
That's all that counts.
Normally you'll be doing your wonderful poems in the voice of John Cooper Clarke, but for certain occasions, for today's one, you've chosen Noel Coward. Why is that?
Well, sometimes I do a bit of Roger McGough, and Roger always does his poems like that, in short bursts, and talks in that kind of manner. And it depends whether it's a poem that suits that. John Cooper Clarke rather suits that internal rhyming that I've always loved, that Gerard Manley Hopkins executed so well. So I've always quite liked that internal rhyming and tumbling over each other, which kind of suits the John Cooper Clarke style. But today it was National Hugging Day, and I thought, well, a lot of us haven't done that for a very long time now, hugging. So I thought, just had this idea, again, like song title we were talking about before. I just thought, Mad Dogs and Englishmen go out for a midday hug, because people are always saying, oh, for goodness sake, why don't people just stay in? What are they doing? They're all in the park there. So I thought, yeah, Mad Dogs and Englishmen go out for a midday hug.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, the great thing about Noel Coward, he's in the news as well at the moment because, as he rightly should be, Lithe Spirit is out at the moment with Judi Dench as well. They've just done the film version of that. And also last week, they sold some of his photographs, so £1,600. Photographs he couldn't publish in those days because he would have been arrested.
Yeah, I mean, he spent a lot of time in Jamaica, and as you know, I filmed out there. I filmed at Firefly's house, Ian Fleming's house, Johnny Cash's house, Errol Flynn, Oscar Hammerstein. So yeah, they all spent a lot of time in Jamaica. I think it was a place where people could just hang out and be themselves without people breathing down their necks. Certainly, not necessarily for the others, but certainly for Noel and his crowd. They could have parties in their style, as it were, and enjoy each other's company without anyone breathing down their necks. So I think it's probably ideal for them. And of course, he was very friendly with the Queen Mother, who went out there, who loved him. They were of the same age, exactly the same age. So yeah, I mean, she went and had lunch with him and sat outside, and they got on like a house on fire. So yeah, they could have their parties in their own way.
And style and in his own way was certainly what he's going to talk about. And I think that was an absolute joy. And that is his legacy, apart from anything else, is that he's got a fantastic body of work. But not only that, little did he know that a few years later, a certain legendary DJ would be utilizing his voice to do the Radio Laureate about virtual hugging. I guess it's all over to you, Mr. Mike Reed.
Yes, I'm not sure it's exactly his voice, because Noel was very clipped and very fast when he spoke like that, very clipped of the era. So yes, National Hugging Day. In Leamington Spa, they hug where they are all day. It's a habit they've developed where the citizens enveloped. They ignore the rules and they hug like fools, they say. A hug in Hull is much too sultry, and one must avoid their ultra hugging day. In Clacton too, they hug no ifs, no buts. Folk in Frinton think they're definitely nuts. Mad Dogs and Englishmen still hug in the midday sun. The Japanese say hello there. The Chinese... let's not go there. In Wales and Scottish Highlands, they hug from 12 to 1, but hugging Englishmen detest a siesta. They hug in a fiesta. In the Chiltern Hills, local get their thrills. They love illegal hugs. You can have a squeeze down to Bath or Leeds, but it's madness, just our sugs. On the Norfolk Broads and the pitch at Lords, the forelocks get a tug, but Mad Dogs and Englishmen go out for a midday hug. It's a nice surprise for the Orpington eyes to see, because the English like a treat. They hug impervious to heat. In Milton Keynes, they clasp and hug with glee, because the simple creatures do not see a uniformed man saying, come along with me. It seems such a shame when the English hug all day, from Westward Ho to Goole and Morecambe Bay. Mad Dogs and Englishmen still hug in the midday sun. To the Brits you have to hand it, the rest can never understand it. Ilfracombe in the heat of noon is when hugging should be shunned. In Winchelsea and Rye Town they hug one or all and lie down. In a Midlands town where the rain beats down and the hugging never ceased, they'd never been fans of shaking hands, but they have to look out for the police. In the far northwest, they hug the best, and they kiss you on the mug, 'cause Mad Dogs and Englishmen go out for a midday hug. In Nottingham, for instance, they ignore the social distance, even though they know that there's a bug. In Oswald Twistle, they blow a whistle and go for a noonday hug. During question time, if you feel inclined to hug the opposition, from the Speaker's chair comes a voice, beware, think of your position. In Whitehall, where they rule for all, MPs could end up in jug, because mad dogs and Englishmen go out for a midday, out for a midday, out for a midday hug.
Absolutely sensational, as good old Tony Blackburn would say. Mike Reed, the Radio Laureate, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Andrew.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay.